know. I don't know. This ain't looking good. This ain't looking good. Woo! Listen, guys, I just did a video promoting Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. Guys, modern day superheroes. I just did this video. YouTube sent me something and said they blocked this in a lot of countries. And it was just a video. Guys, things are not just sounding good, guys. You listen, I understand promotional companies, do a lot of talking. But I'm asking you, guys, listen, I want the AJ fans. I want the AJ fans to let me know. Do you really believe that he do or do not want smoke with Wilder? Guys, yes! Right now, it's sounding like AJ wants a smoke-free zone. Guys, T-Dog was Blazing Sports. Give me a minute just to make sure it is showing okay in YouTube and it doesn't look too bad. So, guys, Wilder is 40 wins, 39 knockouts, WBC champion. AJ, 20 wins, 20 knockouts, already unified. All right? A side, B side, A side, B side. I heard a lot of excuses. Here's the thing is, I actually like watching Anthony Joshua fight. I like seeing him fight. And when he fought Charles Martin for the first time, I was defending people and said, listen, man, Charles Martin, the demigod himself, is not quite what people think. I think Anthony Joshua is going to beat this guy. As a matter of fact, I predicted that Anthony Joshua was going to knock out Charles Martin, which he did. Demigod Martin, I'm sorry. But guys, listen, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something is sounding like Anthony Joshua don't want no smoke, guys. Listen. If you want smoke, right? If you want smoke, just let people know you want smoke. If he's number one, how come he's too good to fight number two? Number two, they say he's begging for a fight. He's pleading for a fight. But number two is a fighter. Number two wants to prove that he's the best. He doesn't have a perfect style. He swings a little wild sometimes. He got a right hand that can have his own movie like Happy Gilmore. But he wants that smoke. Guys, listen. You see the cigarette? He wants that smoke. He wants that smoke. I know I look like somebody's uncle right now. I know that. But this man wants that smoke. Now, people saying, Anthony Joshua, the A side. He doesn't have to fight him. He's the A side. And I did hear a Wilder supporter. He was pretty funny, right? And he was hearing about, he said that Anthony Joshua is the A side, and people talking about that Deontay Wilder is the B side. And he said, yeah, Anthony Joshua is the A side, all right, afraid. And Deontay Wilder is the B side. About it. Guys, listen, that's totally up to you to let me know. What do you think? Do you believe that Deontay Wilder's about it? Do you believe Anthony Joshua is afraid? But I'm telling you this right now, guys. Do we really know Anthony Joshua really wants? It just don't quite sound like Anthony Joshua really wants that smoke, guys. Cannot seem to find my lighter. But it just not seem like Anthony Joshua wants that smoke, because when you do interviews, guys, and when they ask you in an interview about fighting a number 2 undefeated champion that's in a whole nother continent about fighting to be the undisputed champion, and you saying things like, listen, I don't have to fight him right now. I can fight him 1, 2, 3 years from now. He was fighting when I just started having my first fight. It's all those things. Honestly, guys, at some point, I don't know what my lighter is, they sound like excuses at some point, But like I said, it's totally up to you to let me know, are they excuses or is it a valid reason? Someone reminded me about an interview that was done on The Boxing Voice. They had, I believe, Deontay Wilder, Eddie Hearn, and Tyson Fury called in, guys. and I heard them saying, let's call Anthony Joshua on the line. And Andy Hearn said, oh, he don't want to be disturbed right now. He got me to talk. I don't understand why. What up to Spawn the Mill Bill? Bling, bling, what's going on, big dog? Listen, man, we are talking about right now Anthony Joshua. Do you really believe he do or he don't want that cool 100 type of smoke? Can't find my lighter for nothing. God, listen, hold up. Hey, Doug. Doug. You got a light?
Yeah, I got a light.
All right, cool, cool.
Get that out of here. You know AJ's coming. He don't want no smoke.
Wow! Guys, did that just happen? AJ's coming over here. He don't want no smoke. I can't even smoke in my own house. Listen, I ain't no worried about it. It's all good. Listen, T-Dog was Blazing the Sports. We do this live. I ain't no worried about it. I'm going to call my boy Wilder. We're going to find out what's going on right now. Right now. Okay. Wilder? All right, we good. Hey, listen, I just got a cigarette slapped out of my mouth. I just found out that AJ is coming over here now. So get ready and suit up. We good. All right. Listen, that ain't going down. It's all good. I'm going to give people a heads up. I don't like to surprise people. It is what it is. Hold on. Yeah, can I speak to Anthony Joshua? Hey, AJ, listen. I just spoke to Wilder. No. I said I just spoke to Wilder, and he's coming. Hello? I think he hung up on me. Hold up. Maybe he lost call. AJ, good. Hey, I just spoke to... Hello? I think he hung up on me again. Nah. Hey, we're going to get to the root of this right now, guys. This caller is not accepting calls at this time from this number. Guys, listen. You just saw it here live, guys. AJ just blocked T-Dub's number, guys. What's blazing? But we know what's not blazing. Is the cigarette just got knocked out of my mouth. Bomb squad's on his way. All right, guys, listen. That was pretty fun. I thought of that before I was driving here. I hope you guys got some entertainment out of that, guys. But what's up? Keep It Real is in the house. Keep It Real says, words of light, hit the like button. Guys, yes, hit the like button. Spawn the Mill Bill said Wilder already wins by default. So disappointing how Joshua basically is not trying to fight him. Shout out to Spawn the Mill Bill. Shout out to Keep It Real Boxing. Shout out to our Red Sox fan, Mosley Boxing, and all the guys that come over and What's Blazing Land. Guys, listen. So, it's not looking good, guys, for AJ. Now, his promotional company playing all these musical cheers and stuff like that, you know, I can somewhat understand it, but as a fighter, he's not making the right moves because Deontay Wilder was already contracted to go over and basically commentate Anthony Joshua's fight before he fought Ortiz. Now imagine this. Imagine if Wilder would have lost to Ortiz and still had to go over there and do commentating for AJ's fight. I don't think he would have had an issue or anything. He wouldn't have a worry of anything. But since AJ Wilder knocked out Luis Ortiz, I really don't believe that AJ wants to face Wilder in person. When you go so far to say you basically want to ban this man from getting inside the ring after the fight, it sounds like you don't want to face this man. It sounds like you don't want no part of this guy. It sounds like you don't want Wilder to get in that ring, look you in your eyes, look down on you, and only say, Bomb Squad. Now, I know there's AJ fans and that says that, you know, the fight hasn't been signed yet. It's all hype until it gets signed. Can't believe she knocked my cigarette out of my mouth. AJ, until the fight gets signed, I don't really, at this time, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke with Wilder. Now, let's touch on that. With him and Klitschko, after he, won and Klitschko gets in the ring and they do their whole, basically go into a promotional thing. All right, and I understand that. They said, well, the fight was already signed if I win. I understand it. But listen, a lot of great fights in history, a lot of fights that was never signed, but so well, just a simple fact because they did add that hype in there, because it was the animosity that somebody want to take your spot, because you had people like Laura who finally got under Canelo's skin, and Canelo, Canelo told his promoter to make that fight. Anthony Joshua, the fighter, should be telling him to make that fight. The same way that when Shane Mosley got in the ring after Mayweather beat Juan Manuel Marquez, Mayweather took close to 2 years off, and Mosley got in the ring, and it was all this, and next thing you know, we got a pretty good fight, sold like 1.4, maybe 1.5 million view buys, and so on and so on and so on, guys. Now, and my thing is, that's not Anthony Joshua place to say that. He should let his promotional company say that, because when a fighter says that, it doesn't make a fighter look good. The same way when people say Keith Thurman don't want no smoke, they say Keith Thurman right now. They say Keith Thurman don't want no Earl Spence smoke. Why? Because when he asks direct questions, he tend to say, oh, I'll fight him here, I'll fight him there, I'm not going to fight him. No, he's not saying the right words. He should say things that he should let his promoters say those things, not a fighter. Guys, let's go to the live chat room. Let's see what we got. We got Loaded Out says, do you follow, I'm not, okay, is it amateur? What do you got in there, man? Spawner Mirror Bill, damn, AJ, before Wilder, you was the man, homie. The fuck happened to you? Hey, that's 50 Cent. I got that. And here's the thing. Guys, YouTube blocked my last video. You probably can catch it on my Facebook. Basically, modern day superheroes or something. And I was basically putting up both of these guys. I'm saying that AJ is like Thor. I'm saying Anthony Wilder is like, he's punching with the Infinity Gauntlet. I want to see the clash. But guys, things are adding up. Things are coming to me. I work a lot, so I don't get a chance to do videos when other people do them. I catch them quick, but when I do catch them, like today, and things start falling on my plate. The question is, guys, listen, I'm only giving to you what has either been said in interviews, from the horse's mouth, or from promotional companies, or what people are saying, that's why I say what someone said, that some of it might not always be the exact words. I paraphrase a lot. But the simple fact is, guys, Anthony Joshua does not sound like he wants Newport, Cool 100s, Paul Moss, any type of smoke, not even the Maverick type of smoke with Wilder, because when he asks about facing Wilder, a fighter response should be, yes, I'm willing to fight him. We can make it happen next. And then just let the fake negotiation break down where the fight doesn't happen. Basically, you can duck him by acting like you want to fight him, but yet in reality, you don't want to fight him. But when you come out and say, he had 20 fights when I only had one, so when are you guys going to ever have an even number of fights where you felt that he should fight you? I don't get it. Then if you're the A side and he's the B side, so if he's not worthy to fight you, the number 2 person, then why is a rematch with Dylan White is? Why is Big Baby Crybaby Miller, why is he in line to fight again, to fight you? Why is these guys better? How can these guys bring more money than Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder asked for 50-50. He asked him for too much. Deontay Wilder said he'll take 40%. Oh, he's still asking for too much. What do you want to give this guy? The guy even said that, listen, you give me 10%. You take 90. But we got to have something right. Then we do a rematch. And I take 90, you take 10. Oh, he's not really serious about that. He says, Spawner Millbeer says, I think Joshua has a questionable chin. He's been dropped. Here's the thing. I do think it could be a good fight. Now, I'm not one of them people that says, you know, Wilder going to go in there and it's going to be an easy fight. Joshua has 0% chance of winning. I'm not going to say that. And I'm not going to say Joshua's going to wipe the floor with Wilder. But what I am going to say is these guys are number one and number two. You can swap it however you want. And number two has been showing eager to fight number one. Number one has not shown at any time that he wants to fight number two. And here's what's crazy. That Anthony Joshua do not want Wilder in that ring after his fight face-to-face. But yet, he can go on YouTube and do videos where he's mocking Wilder, where he's making fun of him by repeating some of the things that he say. You know what I'm saying? So how can you make fun of a guy, but then you don't want to face him? What do they call that, guys? When you can talk behind somebody's back, but when they're in your face, you don't. Matter of fact, you don't want him in your face. You telling people, get in front now. Don't let him up there. Listen, he's not going to punch you. He's not going to hit you. Yes, he is going to call you out and say, I want to fight you next. Let's make it happen. Yes, you're probably going to get a bomb squad that's going to echo in your ears for the next 3 birthdays, but that'll be probably it. And it's up to you to say, let's make it happen, or to say, you know, not right now, you know, I really want to, and guys, I might be wrong, but I heard somebody say Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said AJ really wants to rematch Dillian Whyte. I don't understand. How is that more profitable than fighting number two? How does fighting somebody below Wilder makes you better as a heavyweight? Guys, I'm just saying, after a while, you're going to have to start looking at this as being some type of duck. He said, I'm from the UK. This is Keep It Real Boxing. I'm from the UK, and even I question AJ and Eddie Hearn. The thing is, I understand Keep It Real Boxing, guys, check him out. I understand Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn learned, he learned from a lot of the promotion that's happened. You know, probably he's taken a little bit of what Golden Boy has done with Canelo, and he's probably trying to take a couple of those top rank moves, and he's trying to protect his investment. He don't want Joshua to take a loss or be in a fight that could get him a loss. I understand Eddie Hearn is not right. Listen, I'm not saying it's right because it's not. Because eventually, even though you're pinning him against fights against other people and you're making money off of him and you're making him money, the fact is the fans eventually is going to turn and say, why won't you fight this man? You know, even with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, yes, it took 5 or 6 years. But you know what? The one thing you didn't hear is you didn't hear one of them want to duck the other. You didn't hear them say, even though it took 5 or 6 years, you didn't hear one of them say, well, I will wait 2 years. I don't have to fight him now. You didn't hear that. You didn't hear Floyd say, listen, I got money. I can make money moves all day. You know, they didn't do that. They always talked like it was going to happen next, and it didn't. It always blamed on each other, but it didn't. In this case, you got Wilder, who, I want to fight you. I want to fight you. I want to fight you. Does not have a perfect style. Bronze in the Olympics. AJ got gold Olympics. He is a little wild sometimes. He has a right hand that can knock 3 grandmas out, and he only has to land. If he lands one punch on the grandson, he would knock 3 grandmothers out at random. That's the thing about it. And the people is, since AJ doesn't have great head movement, AJ does counter. AJ does have power. AJ can box. And I like to see AJ fight, and I think it'd be a good fight. I think it'd be a really good fight. I think AJ has a killer instinct once he gets you hurt. But the fact is, in this fight right here, AJ don't sound like he want that smoke. Guys, listen. I could be wrong. And I've been wrong before. She never did give me that lighter, did she? I could be wrong. But, guys, I don't believe Anthony Joshua is 100% confident that he can beat Deontay Wilder. I think watching a Luis Ortiz fight, seeing that Wilder does have a chin, watching Luis Ortiz, who I think even after this loss is probably probably the more skilled heavyweight out there right now, and he has power. And to see Wilder fight through that and box a southpaw. Remember, guys, Ortiz is a southpaw, and it's hard if you're an orthodox fighting a southpaw than fight an orthodox fighter because you don't face many southpaws. Southpaws fight right-handers all day, so they get comfortable with it. And sometimes they can't fight another southpaw good because they used to fight right-handers. But right-handers are not quite good, but don't always fight southpaws, so sometimes they look a little rusty and they can't get off what they want. But the fact still remains is that Wilder got game-changing power. I'm not lying, guys. I think this guy has a Fenty gauntlet on his hand. I don't know if he's kins or brothers with Thanos. They kind of look alike. One's black, one's purple. I don't know, guys. Maybe he's going to Thanos. So listen, hey, I got a big fight coming up. Luis Ortiz, the guy can crack. Let me get just 3 of those stones. I don't need all 5. Let me get 3 of those stones. But let's go to the chat room. The spawner Mill Bill said, good point. Also said, I just saw this morning. I think Joshua can beat Wilder, but I think he's going to choke. Listen, the spawner Mill Bill, I think it's a very good fight. And that's one thing that I don't question. I don't question that if AJ can fight. Because I never picked against AJ. Because when I watch him and I break it down, I think AJ can fight. I think he has power. I said a while ago, people better catch him maybe about 5-6 fights ago because this kid is going to get better and better and better as they fight. And he is getting better. So, and this was the time, when I was saying, man, if Joshua, anybody of these guys want to catch Joshua, if Wilder, any one of these guys want to catch Joshua now, they better catch him before he started getting better. That was like 6-7 fights ago, and now he's definitely got a lot better. I think AJ can fight. But I think Wilder can punch. I think Wilder's jab is going to be more effective than it was against Luis Ortiz. I think his movement is going to help him. And that right hand, and and here's another thing, guys. Our Red Sox fan is in the house. What's going on, buddy? Gave you a shout out right along with Keep It Real Boxing, right along with Spawner Meal Bill. He says, hi, Keep It Real. How are you? He's speaking of Keep It Real Boxing in the house. All right, our Red Sox fan, basically, I'm just trying to find out, man. Does Anthony Joshua really want smoke of Deontay Wilder? I'm looking at his responses. I'm looking at how Eddie Hearn is talking about it. And I'm hearing Eddie Hearn saying things like, if he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, he should fight Dylan White next. Because I really want to get Dylan White a title fight. Or why doesn't he fight Big Baby? I don't get it. Why are you trying to shoehorn other people to fight Wilder? Why don't you let your dude fight Wilder? Well, how about this? If you really want to give Dylan White a title shot, how about you say this, Dylan White? I'm going to let Anthony Joshua get a chance to be undisputed. And if he wins, you fight Anthony Joshua next. If he loses, it's already in contract with Wilder that you fight him next. That'll be getting your boy a title shot. Anything else, you're just playing games. You're just trying to put people in front of him. And you hoping that one of these guys can beat him. The fact is, guys, listen, if Anthony Joshua loses, the fight's gone. If Wilder loses, the fight is gone. The thing is, the time is right, and the time is now. Our Red Sox fans said, I think Hearn and Joshua want Fury first, and guys, I don't know how my font got so tiny. Give me a second. I think I went to 125, now I can't read it. Hold on. He says, I think Hearn and Joshua want Fury first and what they think is an easy, big money fight. And then Wilder is a few years older. All right, so the thing is, if they fight Tyson Fury, honestly, that's not a really easy win for them. And even though Tyson Fury won a title shot coming back, and I do understand it, but listen, Tyson Fury also has a legit chance of winning. I don't get it. Why don't you put it in contract that if Wilder wins, he has to either fight Dylan White or whoever else somebody he promotes. The thing is, Eddie Hearn is trying to be, like I said, he learns from Top Rank probably more. He wants to keep everything in-house. The same way he said about, okay, will you give me a soda?
Yeah.
The same way he talked about Anthony Joshua, not Anthony Joshua, lost my train of thought, guys. Somebody's going to the store and the one who stuck the cigarette out from my mouth. And I forgot what I was thinking, guys, because I don't have a cue cord behind me. So, guys, remember this is T-Dog with Plays and Sports. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Either I go live from work and you will see a thumbnail, or when I'm at home like I am now, I go live and I'm in front of you guys. I'm going to do my best to give you the best boxing knowledge, to be unbiased as possible, try to give it to you down the line on exactly how I feel it, how I see it. I have no hidden agenda. I am who I am. I'm not affiliated or tied in with any other boxing associations, which is probably why I'm not as big, but I figured that, you know what, I can grow on my own, and if things work out with other people where we can do duo videos, I am down with that. But I do have a boxing family, guys. Our Red Sox fan, Keep It Real Boxing, Mosley Boxing, Spawn and Mill, Bill, Charles, Facebook friends, so many on. Guys, so let's get back to this. Let's see what we got here. I don't think it's an easy fight for Joshua either. I think his Fury is right. He is a very good fighter. Yeah, I mean, Fury's one of them guys that he's a really big guy, tall guy, but he can move around the ring. He uses that jab a lot. And the thing is, he can win rounds on just being not hittable, just keeping that jab in your face. I don't think he's going to knock you out, but he can steal rounds enough. The thing is if Anthony Joshua catches him, can Anthony Joshua get him out of there? If just same way of Tyson Fury fought Wilder, if Wilder catches him, can Wilder get him out of there? Honestly, I believe if Wilder catch anybody in boxing, Wilder, guys, I don't know anybody that really has that single one-punch KO power like Wilder. I guess somebody close to it in the lightweight division might be Adonis Stevenson. I know he has a really good left hand, but when you talk about overall power, single shot power, that has to come from Wilder. And even being Anthony Joshua, you got to be thinking like, man, you know, I know I'm more talented than this guy. I see things I can expose. But if he lands that right hand, and that's the thing, you can look at it on camera all you want, and you can say that, I think Wilder, not Wilder, but Anthony Joshua said all I got to do is take away his right hand. He's only a one-hand fighter. But the fact is, if you got a guy like Luis Ortiz, who is crafty, who is skilled, who I told people, I said, listen, I give this fight 60-40 to Wilder. I think Wilder's going to beat him, and Wilder's going to knock him out. But I think Ortiz definitely has a chance and going to make it very hard for Wilder, and he did. And if Ortiz, being that crafty, could not take away that right hand all night, it's going to be very hard for me to think that Joshua can avoid it all night. I just don't see it happening. The thing is, once he get hit, how well he takes it. Klitschko, I think most people would say that Klitschko doesn't have a one-hit power like Wilder, and Klitschko was able to drop him. I guess a lot of people looking at that, if Wilder catches him with his punch, will he drop him? Keep It Real Boxing said definitely Wilder power is real dangerous. Our Red Sox fan said, yep, it is very dangerous. And the thing is, guys, listen, I like to watch both of these guys fight. Since I've known of Anthony Joshua, I have not went against him. I have not said, you know, he's going to lose to Martin, he's going to lose to White, or he's going to lose to Parker. I predicted he's going to be Parker. I said Parker can make it interesting, but I predicted that he should be Parker. But Parker does have skills, but I see some flaws in Parker too that I think Anthony Joshua could expose. So I'm not picking against. It's not like I don't like this guy and I just want to see him fail. I just want to see him fight. I just want to see him fight the number 2 guy. And this is the best time to do it. There's no other time better than this, because there's nobody that Wilder can fight outside of Luis Ortiz that can have that same momentum. The fight, the war that he just had with Luis Ortiz, that was a war against the number 3. And coming off a win like that and pulling in fans because of your heart and you fought through it, your rocky moment, you almost got knocked out, and you came back to knock the guy out. And Anthony Joshua, another chance to unify. take on Parker. Probably going to be a pretty tough fight. If he gets the win, guys, that should be a pyramid fight. The money's going to work out. The money's going to work out. Anybody using money as an excuse is just what it is. It's an excuse. There's no justification to it at all. It is an excuse. And people saying that Anthony Joshua is the A side and Wilder's the B side. One guy even said that Anthony Joshua can go and fight 3 or 4 other fighters, and Wilder should be lucky if Anthony Joshua picks him up to fight him one time. Well, you got to ask yourself this question. If he can fight 3 or 4 fighters before fighting Wilder, is that called ducking? I'm saying, is that called ducking? If Wilder's number 2 and you're number 1, number 2 clearly showing he want to fight you, and number 1 said, I want to rematch with Dillian Whyte, I will fight Tyson Fury, I will fight Big Baby Miller in the U.S. You're fighting everybody. It's like playing kickball, guys. And everybody's getting picked around. You're like, pick me, pick me. Nope, I want that guy. Nope, I want him. You know what I'm saying? Like, they picking around him. Like, it's going to look like at some point that he really doesn't want to tangle with Wilder. Our Red Sox fans say, yes, he did. Very good point. What still scares me about Wilder is hands down, head and chin up. Sometimes he waits too long to throw punches. Listen, I agree. I think, and people don't like, because I'm not one of them guys that says, Wilder has a great style. And some people say he's not wild. I talk about when he's wild and when he's not. Wilder is typically wild once he gets you hurt. And the thing is, once he gets you hurt, nobody has been able to recover from it yet. The slapping hooks, the big shots, the swinging from Alabama when he's fighting New York, But he does have flaws, because when he fought Luis Ortiz, one of my breakdowns was he brings his left hand back lazy. He brings his right hand right here sometimes. He fights with his chin up. So I break it down on exactly how I see it. Wilder has a lot of flaws. And if Wilder did not have that it factor against Luis Ortiz, I would have picked Luis Ortiz to win. But you can't just erase that out. He does have an over-equalizer. It's not an equalizer to say, you got a gun, I got a gun too. That's not, he doesn't have an equalizer. You got a gun. Well, I got missiles that's launching from a mile away. That's heat seekers on where you at. And I'm not even in your fire range. He is bringing a bazooka to the fight. And if it lands, it doesn't matter who he's hit, guys. Nobody's been able to take it. The only man that took it one time was Severn. And he had to go to the hospital, guys. Severn went in that fight looking like a normal human being. He came out that fight looking like somebody off of Star Wars. Star Trek. The guy with the hairline pushed back and the things poking out like this here. The guy here was swollen, man. The guy here was so swole that people said they saw his heart beating out of his head when he was leaving. And it wasn't his heart beating. It was his head actually, it was swelling up more as he was leaving. He had to go to the hospital. And the second time they fought, Wilder hit him with a right hand through his gloves, and you saw he couldn't take a flush right. So, our Red Sox fans, remember if you are watching now or later, please hit the like button. Yes, our Red Sox fan guy, listen, check out our Red Sox fan. The guy literally does a great job calling games, calling fights, simulations. I'm telling you, when I'm at work sometimes and I can't see it, I put them on, put my headphones on, and I zone out, guys. And I'm just trying to get my talking skills as good as his. Thank you, our Red Sox fan, and keep it real boxing. He said, White is a good fighter, but he is not world champion level, in my opinion. White is a good fight. Dillian Whyte is a good fight. He's a good fighter. But I don't understand why Eddie Hearn is saying that the one fight that Anthony Joshua really wants is the Dillian Whyte fight. He felt he wasn't 100% during that fight, so he wanted to fight him again. I don't get it. So let me get this. Anthony Joshua, he wants some smoke. He wants smoke with Dillian Whyte. He wants to smoke with Dillian Whyte, right? But then when Deontay Wilder said, I will fight you for less money. He don't want no smoke, guys. He wants zero smoke with Wilder. I don't even understand why not. Listen, We got to figure out a way, guys, to get inside these guys' head, push for the fight. I'm not saying Wilder's going to win. I'm not saying Joshua's going to win. I know when I break it down, I'm going to give you a prediction. I think it's going to be a tough fight. I think Anthony Joshua has a lot of skills that can get to Wilder. I think Wilder's chin is going to be tested again. I think Anthony Joshua might hit harder than Luis Ortiz. It's not like I'm saying that Wilder's going to just run through this guy. I'm not saying that. I just want to see the fight. And since Anthony Joshua has not said anything about fighting Wilder, it sounds like a clear duck. To me, listen, I already know this. Anthony Joshua's favorite game as a kid was Duck, Duck, Goose. But he never got to the goose, guys. He imagined that way back then that it was nothing but Wilders in that circle. And if he said goose, that Wilder is going to chase him. So he's duck, 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 duck. Duck, 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 duck. Never get to goose, guys. People sending Indian style, legs hurt, butt hurt, thighs hurting, and they just want to get him and chase the guy before he get back to his spot, but he won't do it. Keep It Real Boxing says, I agree. Probably what somebody said 30 minutes ago, because I know there's a lapse. He said, I think it's a good money fight. Our Red Sox fan says, Duck, Duck, Goose, love it, T-Dog. Yeah, you see, our Red Sox fans, I think it's a good money fight with low risk for Joshua. Yes. See, the thing is, at one point, does it stop being a soul money move? Now, if there were like 3 or 4 guys that's all undefeated and ranked number 1, 2, and 3, 4, and you didn't know who a winner was going to be, then you can justify not fighting Wilder and say, I'm going to fight this other guy who they said number 1, and this guy who says number 1. And you can understand Wilder, Wilder, why you just calling out AJ? Why don't you call out them other guys who could be number 1? Then you can say Wilder is ducking, and he's trying to bully AJ because he thinks he can beat him. Or you can say, but in this case, there's a clear, there's the 2 up top. There's other people at the bottom. There's a clear 2 people at the top, and it's Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. They give Anthony Joshua number 1 because he has unified, and he has a bigger push. Listen, and this is for the UK fans that support Anthony Joshua. Do not support Anthony Joshua if you thumbs down this video or if you like this video. The thing is, I take my hat off to UK fans. I think they're some of the best fans to have. I think American fans, boxing fans, should look at UK fans and take notes. So I'm not knocking that. I understand it. Even if you thumbs down this, if you come in this video and you say, you a hater. I don't even care because I know what? You support your people. You show up. When you talking about packing 90-some thousand at Wembley Stadium, you show up. When over in America, a lot of times we don't support our fighters. Matter of fact, we hate on fighters more than supporting fighters. You got a heavyweight champion, Deontay Wilder, haven't had an American champion in 10 years, and you don't support him. You can't say he fights like Floyd Mayweather because Floyd Mayweather was stick and move, defensive first. Wilder is offensive first. Mayweather, he didn't go for the knockout. That's why we don't like him. Wilder goes for the knockout and gets the knockout. You know what I'm saying? It's like he can't win. There's no way he can win in that one. So, again, take my hat off to the UK fans, anybody in the UK, England, anywhere that's over there in that area that support their fighters. Listen, I understand. And even when you back your fighter, I understand. With me, I'm just a guy that I call down the line. I don't favor somebody because they're from the U.S. or they're from the U.K. Like I said, I predicted AJ against Charles Martin, going to win. I predicted AJ against Dominic, he's going to win. I think AJ's a good fighter. But his word choices about he don't have to fight him this year or next year. He can fight him when he won. He's talking about how many more fights that Wilder has than him. Listen, Wilder's going to always have more fights than AJ. He's going to always have more fights. But guys, the thing is, I know I've been going for 40 minutes, guys. Your boy T-Dub can talk. And I get told that. You never stop talking, do you? The thing is, AJ has shown not any interest in fighting Wilder at all. And at some point you can justify a couple moves here and there, but when this guy don't show any interest, even Keith Thurman, who people are giving some slack now, at least he says it might be 2 or 3 fights because he come back off of an injury. All right, you know, all right, I can get that. But once he has those 2 fights and he's 100% back and he still don't want no smoke with Earl Spence Jr., then people gonna try to say that, you know, Keith Thurman, you might be ducking there. And AJ, let me see. I'm a Red Sox fan. I like Joshua to 2. He beat Klitschko. Best thing for boxing. He's more octopus arms. Anthony Joshua, like I said, Anthony Joshua. That Klitschko fight for Anthony Joshua showed a lot. That Klitschko fight was like the Ortiz fight for Wilder. He had to battle back from getting knocked down. He fought a veteran. And now that he battled back from getting knocked down, he won. He knocked Sonic Rings out of his head with an uppercut. And he had the world on fire. Just like Wilder had to pull off a miracle. I ain't gonna say a miracle. He landed his right hand against Luis Ortiz. He took Luis Ortiz energy from 100 to 0 real fast. But let's get to it, guys. We're gonna do a full recap. Guys, listen. If you just now jumped into this stream, please go back and watch the first 5 minutes once this ends. Once this ends, AJ was on the line, Wilder was on the line. You have to go back and watch the first 5 minutes. Spawn Bill said Thurman been ducking Spence before he ever had a strap. I remember that. It didn't seem like Keith Thurman. See, before Earl Spence had a strap, you can say, because Keith Thurman, like, you know, he hasn't fought nobody. He hasn't got a belt. So you can say, all right, you know, to me, yeah, you can see that he really don't want that smoke. The way I viewed it is that at that time, it was high risk, low reward for Thurman. High risk, which means it's going to be a tough fight. He probably can lose to Spence, and the reward, the money, probably won't be quite there. But at that time, Garcia had a belt. Sean Porter lost his belt to Kell Brook, but Sean Porter was still a hot fighter. And now Spence went out and got a belt, and Spence want that heat with Thurman. Because remember, Thurman messed up his arm after the Garcia fight. He hasn't fought since the Garcia fight. So I do understand by him not coming right back and fighting Earl Spence. But listen, after this year, if he fights 2 times this year, and Earl Spence stays undefeated, and he's not trying to pull that, I got 2 belts. How about you go over there and fight? You fight, you know, let's say the winner of Terrence Crawford and Jeff Horn. How about you unify over there and I unify over here, and then we have a mega unified fight? That could happen, you know. Try to pin him to fight one of those guys and not just fight Earl Spence off top. But then again, guys, listen. This is going to be Spawn Bill said ducking season. Listen, guys. People don't go goose hunting. Like Spawn Bill said, it's duck season. You out there, you're in the bushes. But listen, guys, the duck season, the ducks are so good that even when you show up, even when you throw bread out there for them to get it, you never see the duck, but the bread is always gone. Now, with the duck call, when Wilder do his duck call, bomb squad, the true question is Anthony Joshua going to show up, or is he going to duck around it? Our Red Sox fans said it's rabbit season. Listen, I actually eat rabbit. I had one of my mailman that I'm really cool with. He brought me 3 rabbits, actually. Yum! All right, guys, listen. It's your boy T-Dub. What's blazing the sports guy? Listen, if you're just now jumping in, start the video over. Watch the first 5 minutes. Please leave a like, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. If I left anything out, let me know. Our Red Sox fan says, God, I love that cartoon with Bugs and Daffy. Hey, that was a good one. And I think, was it Elmer Fudd was in there too? I don't remember. But He said, great show, bro. Keep it real boxing. All right, guys, listen. Thanks, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it. Just simply leave a like. That's the way, people know that you like the content. Is the way to share it. Also, share it on your social media. Help What's Blazing Land grow. Thank you to all the people in the chat, starting with Keep It Real Boxing, then our Red Sox fan, Spot on the Mill Bill. And I think we might have had one other person in the chat. But, guys, listen, thank you guys for being very live. I appreciate it. T-Dub with Blazing the Sports. If you have any other subject you want to see me touch on, if you like this content, I do 99% off the top of my dome, except for the first 4 or 5 minutes. I thought about that when I was driving home from work, so it was kind of rough, which is why I say go back and watch the first 5 minutes. But besides that, I'm 99% on the top of my dome, and most of the people that I talk to, I like to watch. Keep It Real Boxing put out very good content. Our Red Sox fan put out very good content. The one thing I want to see somebody put out, I want to see AJ put out a statement that he want that smoke with Wilder. Look, guys, Wilder's right here with a cigarette in his mouth. That's a lit cigarette in his mouth, and AJ has a welcome to the smoke-free environment. Something is wrong with that, guys. There's no way that AJ's want a smoke-free environment. He's the type of guy that when you go into a bar and you get your cigarette lit, you got to put that out. You put out your vapor, you got to put that out too, guys. And you got to put that out in bars that allow smoking. He's in bars that allow smoking and making it a smoke-free environment. He don't want no smoke. T-Dub was Blazing the Sports. We are here live.